Hello everyone, this is Rex Red and I am back with another Daz Studio tutorial. This one I hope is going to be short and sweet. I know my 8-hour tutorials don't go over too big because it's like too hard to find stuff. It's like, where was that part where he showed that? Okay. And that's where kind of I could like break them up into. What we're going to do is now, and I said, poke through, and this is called advanced clothing poke through. Okay, because, clothing poke through, you can usually hide the body. And if it's just a single layer of clothing, you can use Mesh Grabber and just pull it out a little bit, and there you're fine, okay? But what happens when you have a piece of clothing that is a layered piece, that's all one piece, but it's layers, and that's what we have here. And this is our coat, and the coat has, this is just in, all I did was put Dinky, this is a Dinky the Elf. All I did was put him in the scene. We'll look at him in iRay. All I did was put him in the scene and put the clothing on him, okay? And immediately, right off the bat, we have poke through issues. And this gets even worse as you put him in a pose. Okay, which we are going to do. Let's try putting him in some kind of pose. And poses. Let's grab our guy here. And okay, you are fighting me. My computer's been doing that lately, the last I don't know how long. Just constantly fighting me. And it's almost like the AI in it is working actively against me. So let's see now. What we have here is, let's just maybe see. Okay, poses. Okay, it should it really be in the poses if it's just like 1 foot pose in the whole thing? All right, so here we go. 24 hours. Probably another foot pose. Yeah. Just my luck to grab the only 2 foot poses here. We don't want combat poses. I don't want to throw him off like that far. We're just going to get a standing pose. Now this doesn't work. Okay, let's go into standing poses. Now it's going to jump around by function. Standing. Okay, we have a lot of these. And just a regular standing pose. How about some? No, we're not going to do oratory. Well, let's see, just this one. See how this works? This is for 8-1, but it might still work on Dinky. I don't know if Dinky's 8-1 or not. I know he's 8. Okay. Now, this should give us a little bit more poke through. I was kind of hoping it would. No, let's try a different pose. Maybe this one. Probably going to put his arm right through his clothing. So let's see what that did. Well, it's definitely give us poke through here. No, let's keep trying different poses until we get one that's going to give us a good amount of poke through here. How about this one? we're not necessarily looking for a pose that's going to work for him. We're looking for one that's going to accentuate the problem with his clothing, okay? And there's another poke through area here, okay? And we definitely have a couple of spots up there. Let's see if we can accentuate it even more. Maybe this one. Okay. It's not really cooperating with me. Maybe one of these dance poses. Okay. Well, maybe I should have stuck with the one that I had. Hello, hello. Thank you for the like, whoever was here. Standing. Dinky. Probably what might accentuate it even more is if I had another figure like who was like brushing up against him. That seems to pull out the clothing issue more. All right, well, this one has a couple. We're gonna go, and you see this kind of issue. It's not like it's the clothing, like his shirt underneath, because he has, like, if we turn off the coat, he has a vest underneath and all. It's not that, because if we turn the vest off, let's put the coat back on, and we turn the vest off, and it's still there. So this tells me that this is part of his coat poking through part of his coat. And so no amount of mesh grabber. In fact, if you try to use mesh grabber on this, it usually makes it worse. Okay. So, and the thing is you just, I could fix this in Photoshop, post work and all, but I really don't like to do that. I don't like having these parts here showing through. I just like to fix them in my scene. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this. Now, I am sure that if you use Dad Studio a lot, you have run into this problem before with poke through, where it's the same article of clothing, but the clothing has layers, and especially like a lot of older clothes do that. A lot of Michael 4 clothing and everything. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to select the article of clothing that we want to work with, and we want to get this fixed. And that would be this coat. And then you go into Tool Settings, and you go to Geometry Editor. Okay, and in this, we have face groups, surfaces, and we have face groups. And this we're going to work in is surfaces. And what you do is you turn this, you find the outer layer of the clothing, which would be this, it would be part of the cape, maybe this cape. Okay, so we go and turn this off. And now what we can do is see the layer under it, which actually allows us to select this layer under it. So what I can do now is just come in with this layer here and select it now, because you can't select it with the cape. It'll select the outer part. Right click and go to Visibility and hide selected polygons. And we're going to do this up here as well. We're going to select these polygons. Polygons. Okay, hold control if you need to select a few more here. And we're going to right click, visibility, hide selected polygons. Then we're going to come over here. And we've got a few in here to do. Hold control so that you can keep adding. Select this like that. Right click. Geometry visibility. Hide selected polygons. And then, okay, what's wrong here? We're looking through his finger or something. Then we come back and we turn the cape back on. And they're gone. Okay? So that is how you fix poke through on layered clothing like this. Now you can see that we have a little bit of something here as well. Now you can dicker with it because this might be part of the collar, or it might be part of, well, it looks like it's actually part of this. So we can just take this cape again, the cape, and turn it off. And then we can come up in here and select this little piece up in here like that. Okay, and right click, visibility, hide selected polygons, and then we turn the cape back on like that, and that's gone. See, and look how nice that looks now. So I'm going to say that there's probably one drawback. Okay, so we're going to go now Dinky clothing fix, we'll call this. There's one drawback to this, and that is when you save it, and if you should have to close your project, and then you go File, New, and you go New Scene, and you bring in a new scene, and then like a week later or time passes, whatever, you decide to bring that scene back in. Okay, I'm going to be surprised if this is fixed because I haven't tested this out yet, but usually this is what happens. So then we're going to load our Dinky clothing fit back in. Okay. And when we do, I'm expecting that the problem will be back. So you have to render this before you close your project, okay? Because if you don't, when you come back into your project and reload it, yep, see, it's back. And Daz looks at the hidden geometry like that, and it unhides it. Just basically anything hidden. I don't know that anything hidden in your scene, but this these particular pieces of geometry that are hidden, they reappear. Now, what you can try to do is you can try to delete that, but sometimes when you delete a piece of geometry from something, it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just completely crinkles up the fabric, and there's another anomaly. When you delete a piece of an object, it takes forever to save it, because Daz is, when it's saving this clothing, it's just looking and saying, Well, this is the exact same clothing that's in your library. So when it loads the scene, it doesn't save everything in the scene as a new item. It just loads it from your library into your scene and said, well, that's the clothes. We're going to load the clothes and we're going to load the hair. All of these things get loaded from your scene. But when you delete a piece of of the object out of the clothing, then when you save your scene, Daz has to save the scene, save that item as a completely new item. And it can take a long time to save it, because it's the item of clothing might be almost a gig or something, I don't know. But it has to go and parse every little bit of geometry and every vertex and everything to save that piece of clothing. So that's the drawback to doing this way, but it fixes it. It's a fix. It's an advanced fix, and fixes your problem with layered clothing, which is a real problem, okay? It's something that happens a lot when you have layered clothing. You see these little problems occur, and to me, my brain has always gone like, what the heck do I do now? And then you pull out Mesh Grabber and it doesn't work, and you try all these other things and it doesn't work, and you think, how do I, what do I have to take this into Material Designer, or do I have to take this into Blender and fix it and everything? And this is the way you fix it. You go into these parts, and it's not easy to do. You have to select the item of clothing again, the coat, and then you have to find the part, which this happens to be the cape. So you have to turn everyone on and off and on and off until you find, like, this is the collar here. If we had poke through on the collar, we would turn the collar on and off. You see, this turns the collar off, so it shows the green underneath. So you have to find out which part is over, that part is over top, and this happens to be the cape area here. So you have to find that area, and we've got poke through here also, but it's not a big deal. So, I could repair this, and then, with Mesh Grabber, I would use Mesh Grabber on this actually, because it's poking through the layer of the clothing below. But this is how you do this. Sometimes you can, and I really wish Daz didn't do this, but that it didn't, when you hide stuff like that, hide geometry. Now there is, a possibility also where, there are other fixes. Now there's a possibility that what you could do is hide this lower piece of geometry. So if we go to the coat and we hide the coat, I think that would be this. Okay, so we have the coat hidden. So now we take our cape and we put the cape back on, and the coat is theoretically hidden. So you would think that if you went out of here and used Mesh Grabber on it, it would no longer be affected because it's hidden. It's not being acted upon, okay? So let's go now to Mesh Grabber, and let's just tug a little bit, because that should be still hidden. And we can pull this out a little bit. And let's come up in here. We got our coat selected. And we come up in here and pull this up a little bit. And pull. It shouldn't be pulling them both together, okay? I would assume, okay? Now this, and now the thing is that when you use Mesh Grabber on something, I believe it does remember that, okay? But we'll do a test, okay? So now we're going to pull this up here. And we pull this up as well. here. Okay. Now we should have fixed those problems. So now let's go out of Mesh Grabber and go back to our geometry editor. And now the coat you see is hidden. Now we turn this back on. And as you can see, it is fixed now. So, all right, now what we do is we save this. And we go File, New. We close this out. Go New Scene. And when it comes back, is it fixed? Create. Create. So, this is a problem that I have encountered for years and not really known what to do with it. And so I figured once I learned and figured out how to fix this, I figured, I think I'll pass this little tidbit on to, let's see, did this come back in with the Mesh Grabber and all of those things saved? And it looks like it did. So there is how you fix them permanently, okay, is to turn the under layer off, pull out the outer layer, and we could do that. We have that same kind of ability here with this to turn off. And you see this is actually not even pushed up into here. So we could kind of actually retool that a little bit. But we go now to our select the coat. Okay, and we turn off the, what was that? The coat. Turn off the coat. Okay, and that's the one underneath. And now we're looking at the gray part there. Then we go into Mesh Grabber. Again, we select this. We can just pull that up. Oh, I think I've got to do this much smaller, like 1. Okay. Okay, did that work? I don't think it did. Okay, 0.5. Can we go even smaller? 0.2. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And now let's go into here. Z. Oh, I don't know what I just undid, but okay, this is going to be very difficult to do because this is this little piece. Okay, pull it out a little bit. And that, I think, was enough to fix it. There was just a little kind of curve to that, somewhat. Okay. And now we can go back in, because we may not, now if you can see, okay, we may not, there might, by turning that shirt off, it might work to just turn it off underneath, but then you might find out like, oh, now he doesn't have any shirt down here. It's showing his undercoat, which is not what you want. Okay, so we go back in. Now we can go back to the geometry editor. We can turn the coat back on. And as we zoom back in, you will see that little piece is repaired. So this is how you do it. Short and sweet and snappy. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful in fixing clothes, fixing parts of clothes. I made it look simple, But when you actually, when you're talking about a dress that has lots of parts and you have to go into these surfaces and you have to click on every little one and turn them on and off and on and off until you find the right, that's not easy, okay? So, but I'm just warning you that it's not easy. And I would go with method 2 rather than hiding the surface, because it's not a permanent thing, is just to hide the undersurface, and then once that undersurface is hidden, when you use Mesh Grabber, it will no longer impact that undersurface, will stay where it is and allow you to manipulate the outer surface. That is my suggestion. And then when you save this, which we're going to save this right now, then your clothing is perfect. And it looks like Control L would go here. Looks like we have something going on here too, like it's his outer coat here is poking into the lower coat. There again, we just turn off the lower coat, pull this out a little bit, then turn it back on. And there we go. We're all set. So, all right. I hope this enables you to get perfect clothing. All right. Thank you for watching. And I will be back later with more awesome tutorials on Daz Studio and other 3D programs. So take care, please. Like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. If this is helpful, I'd like to know. Just leave me a comment and say, I've been trying to figure out how to fix that for a long time. And now it's easy. Now you got it fixed, okay? Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.